Hey everyone, welcome to another Addicted podcast. I'm sitting here, I'm kind of the lone Addicted member here, but I've got two of the industry greats with me today in studio, Mr. Steve Lynch and Jason Hamley from ProCure. And we're going to be talking some springers. We're going to be talking some, I don't know, new and crazy things coming from ProCure, or lack thereof, we should say, and also what's going on in the ProCure world. So how's it going, guys?
Things are great.
Good. How are you doing, Cam?
Grinding away, ready to go kill springers.
Yes. We need the springers to show up.
We do need them to show up.
Yes.
You know what's strangely crazy, though, is I was sitting there driving. I've been driving past like the Kalama Marina. No river names. I said Marina. It's cool. Just don't kill me. But just driving back and forth on I-5 the last few days. And with these gas prices and stuff, like, nobody's trying to get them right now. Nobody's trying early anymore. Like, whereas 2 weeks ago, there were like 6-8 boats out there. And the water is green. Like, the turbidity is like 3 right now in the Vancouver area.
Well, yeah, when you're $100 into going fishing for a day and pumping fuel in there, it makes it a little more.
Yeah, right. It's a little easier to stomach, $40 to go see if I might catch a springer, for these early ones. Because here we are on March 9th, filming this podcast. But yeah, it's kind of weird times right now.
Yeah. The guys I've talked to, though, the addicts, go out fishing in the morning. It's not phasing them. Like John Slomenko, he's out there trying to get the first springer. He didn't care, right? Yeah. And so there are some people, yes, it is going to affect. But the average guy that just wants to get out and fish 3 hours, I don't think it's going to matter. Yeah. I really don't.
Yeah, I guess that is true. Because like some of those guys, though, they launch and go like 100 feet and then they're fishing. I guess some of the guys down below are probably going a little further, like doing those big 3 mile downstream passes with some ProCure brine bait. It's going to be the way to go.
Yeah. And Jason won't care because we pay for his fuel, so it's no big deal.
Yeah. How do I get on that pro staff program?
There you got to show up Monday through Thursday and work your butt off. Oh. And then Friday.
Can I just put a sticker on my boat that says ProCure? You can just pay all my gas now.
No,
damn it! What about for a bass boat? Because I heard you guys are actually sponsoring the Silk Coos Open for TBF.
We are sponsoring a few different bass folks, and we'll see. This is our first year actually throwing money at them. So, knock on wood. Hopefully, they don't mention the rod, the reel, the lure. At the end, they actually mention ProCure.
Tom does a good job of that, and I will say, we need to. Well, I just bought a bass boat, so I'm all in, and I'll be down there donating my lunch money to that too. But yeah, it'll be super fun. But at least it's cool that you guys are expanding into that market now a little bit. I mean, not that you guys don't already make really good bass scents and whatnot, but.
We've only got one guy that we sponsor a few, but a guy named Chris Carpenter, Southern Oregon, is the only guy that will show up with a ProCure hoodie and not tape over the label on the bottle. Other than that, everybody else just won't mention it.
Yeah, because
they want it. They want money.
They're just it's like what KVD was talking about when 360s came out with Hummingbird. Hummingbird had a hard time telling KVD, it's like, hey, you need to tell people about this, and KVD is like, hell no, I'm winning tournaments because of this stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be your Huckleberry, Steve. Let's just say that when I go and lose my lunch money at these tournaments. But real fast, guys, we are sitting here, like I said, Wednesday, March 9th. Springer season's coming up around the corner. But also the Redmond Sportsman Show, the Central Oregon Sportsman Show from O'Laughlin Trade Shows, is going to be this Saturday, March 12th, and we are going to be there for our first annual, or how about just our first, our first Addicted Bash. It's been so many years since I've been able to say that, just on the fact that, we haven't really been able to do these events, but we're going to have some seminars, some giveaways. We're going to be there Saturday afternoon from 3 to 5 p.m. So if everything went right and Clint got this podcast uploaded in time, he's kind of giving me the look like, I don't really know, but we should be there. And then, after that Saturday, I'm steelhead the next 2 days, and after that Saturday, and then I'm springer fishing.
Nice. It ought to be rolling by then.
Yeah, I hope so, because there's not going to be much to do, because I think we got some big rains coming this weekend, and then honestly, it's this is probably the latest I've ever gone where I haven't even I went out one time, I don't know, maybe a week ago, mainly just to run my motors because I hadn't ran my motors in a month. I've been running my 2-stroke motor for like the last month, rafting down the rivers. I haven't really been doing anything else.
Yeah, I went down to the lower channel one day and we didn't do much or see much, but that was a couple weeks or a week and a half ago, so could be a whole different story.
Just enough to be like, do I still know how to roll a herring?
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
Just enough to burn some bait.
Yep.
But it seems like each year they're later and later, especially like in the Multnomah Channel. You know, like last year in the middle of July, guys are still catching fish in the channel. I mean, where everybody else has quit or given up or moved on. Shoot, you go out there at 2:30 in the afternoon, there's 4 or 5 boats out there, and everybody's catching fish.
I know a guy that caught 3 spring Chinook on July 7th in the channel.
Yeah.
3 days after the damn 4th of July, and they're still hanging out in there. But then again, this year was also, I don't know, I was pretty optimistic on how many early fish were getting caught. There was that one that was caught in a Willamette tributary that began with a C. I'm not going to say what. Clint's giving me the no river names look. It was all over the paper. It was caught in the Clackamas early. And then there was a couple that were caught and brought into fishermen's really early too.
There's been quite a few coming into fishermen's. Right. They were picking some up at Oregon City.
And the other thing, and I'll just say it now because it doesn't really mean anything, but my local tributary, one of the ones that has a dam on it here in Southwest Washington, actually had 2 going to the fish trap at the dam, and that's the earliest they've ever shown up.
Nice.
Ever. Since they've built the damn thing.
That's encouraging.
Yeah. So what's it going to be for this year's springer season? What's going to be the hot bait, the hot brine? What do you think? I mean, are you guys selling brine out the freaking
It's crazy
eyeballs right now?
It's crazy. I mean, anybody that just takes trade bait and fishes it, they're foolish. I mean, but I still see it every day at the boat ramp. Guys just dumping trays of bait, at the end of the day.
At the end of the day. Okay.
Just showing. But because if you brine it, you can reuse it. Just put it up in a Ziploc baggie, throw it in your freezer, or just keep it cold if you're going to use it the next day. I mean, so for the cost of that bait, for a guy to throw 3 to 5 packs away, I mean, it just breaks my heart. I mean,
well, let's be honest. With gas prices going up, we're going to have to cut the costs a little bit somewhere, right?
Yeah,
so
no kidding.
That's how Procure sells more brine now. We're going to save you money in the long run.
But I've been preaching that from day one because it truly will preserve, provided you keep your baits cold. There's no throwing it away at the end of the day. And so that way you can go out with a natural, a chartreuse, or a blue, right? Have 3 different sets of baits. Because one day it's one, the next, it's crazy. Nobody knows if it's going to be a natural or a chartreuse that first bite, right?
Yeah, and you talk about keeping it cold. Well, I have a confession to make because 2 weeks ago when I decided to go out for 3 hours and just basically run the motors, I used some of the natural brine, and I put the jars in my cooler. Of course, I got done fishing, and I wasn't in full spring mode, and I forgot to take them out of the cooler, and then I opened the cooler yesterday, and I was kind of dinking around the boat, getting things ready. I went, oh my gosh, I forgot about that bait. And I looked at it, and I was open the cooler nice and slow, no ice, warm temperature. I'm oh my God, these jars are going to be terrible. I opened it up. Honestly, it smelled a little fishier than probably normal, but it's brine bait.
It is more forgiving. Right, it is more forgiving once it's been brine.
Oh yeah, thank heavens, because it was 2 weeks. And fortunately, I'm just going to add it right to the lingcod bag because the lingcod are going to they're going to eat those things all day long. But you're right. I mean, just to be able to preserve it day in, day out. And honestly, if I was kind of looking, I took one out of the jar. I was kind of looking at it, well, I mean, if I had to, the scales weren't falling off. The brine is, the brine's keeping those scales on there. It looked really good. The bait wasn't soft and super mushy. I didn't do it. I don't know why, but I guarantee you I could have taken a cut and made a cut plug and gone fishing.
Sure. And if you would have done a super hot brine, what it would have been is peckered up, shriveled up. And a lot of guys say my bait's ruined, but as soon as whether you plug cut it or even fish it whole, as soon as you put it in the water, if you check it within 30 seconds, it's rehydrated and beautiful.
Yeah.
Right.
These ones weren't all that really shriveled though. Yeah. They had a little bit of it, but not. But
they'll come right back to life. Yeah. It's instant. Within 30 seconds, it's crazy. Because guys will call us from the boat going, yeah, pissed off. And I say, sir, put a hook on it, drag it, right? Put it in the water 30 seconds, call me back. And they say, wow, that's crazy. But it does it just with a heavy salt, it will pecker it up or shrivel it up. But once you put it in the water, man, it just rehydrates.
And that goes even to for cut plugs. I've noticed I don't use a cutter. I just freehand. And I think when sometimes people see that, they kind of freak out a little bit because they're like, are you getting different cuts? And sometimes I'll put the hooks on it and I'll put it in the water. And sometimes I put it in water, it doesn't look like it's going to spin. Yeah. It just looks kind of real cruddy. And I tell the person, I'm like, just put that down. And they're like, it's not spinning. And it's no, just trust me. I put it down. And like you said, 30 seconds later, when that bait rehydrates, gets a little thicker. There might be a little bit of curvature in the fish or a flat side or something like that where it doesn't work. But it doesn't take, like you said, all but a minute. By the time they reel up, that thing is just spinning like a freaking top.
Yep.
So it's something to kind of watch out for when you guys for when you're doing that too. What can you give anglers out there, like you said, trying to save the bait? Give them the kind of the rule of thumb. Is it 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, 5 days? Like if you had a pack of herring, you put 2 packs of herring in your brine, you used 1 pack for that day. How many days later would you fish that other pack? Or what's the process you do?
So what I do is after, so I'll brine them in brine tubs. And then the morning I'm getting ready to fish, I remove them from, just because I've had an accident. I put them in Ziploc baggies with just a little bit of brine in it. So they're and then pack them either on ice packs or ice in the cooler. That bait, say if you're only going to fish Saturday and Sunday, and then you're not going to fish till the following weekend. Mm-hmm. And if you have 2 trays of bait and you still have bait left, you're not changing it enough, right? But all you have to do is at the end of your fishing trip, roll it up as airtight as you can. Mm-hmm. Seal it, throw it in the freezer, even with a little bit of brine in it. It truly won't freeze, but it won't break down and deteriorate. The next weekend, Friday night, you pull it out, take it to your boat, that way you don't forget it. It's perfect. It is to be peckered up, but as soon as you put it in the water, it rehydrates. So it will last you all the way up to a month between take it out of your boat and put it in the freezer, provided it stays cold through the day. But you let it get warm, all bets are off.
There's no bait. I don't think there's any good bait. Well, I mean, any bait really that can survive getting warm. I mean, getting warm just
takes the life out of them.
Yeah, it just goes to mush. So you take it out of that brine. What do you do with that remainder of brine?
I save it and I reuse it. So if you're using the liquid brine, that 31-ounce container will do 6 to 8 trays of bait. And so what I do is I'll put a mark on it when I'm, just that way I know how much I'm doing, right? Or even on my Tupperware tote, when I put them in the fridge, if I'm throwing 2 trays in each one, right, I just put 2 slashes on the Tupperware lid on a piece of like masking tape. And that way I know how much more I can run through it before because what you'll do, it'll still dye your baits, but you pulled the salts and the bite cements out of it. But you can go 6 to 8 trays per 31-ounce container. And you don't need to keep that container if there's been no bait put to it. If it's partially used, just on a shelf in the garage. It does not need refrigeration. But once you've had bait in it, and even though you remove the baits out, which I recommend, that way, in case the tub tips over, you're not going to puke a bunch of blue or chartreuse all over your boat. If you put them up in baggies, it takes up less space, right? Yeah. But just cover that brine solution, leave it in your bait fridge. It'll be good all season. It literally will go 3 months, no problem. Refrigerated.
Okay. So that's for brine. That's over like weekend to weekend. What if it's Sunday to Wednesday? So 2 days of no fishing. Wednesday you're fishing.
I would still remove it and freeze it.
Still remove it
because there's no breakdown once you put it in the freezer. No deterioration. Once it sits in the brine, they say it can sit in there up to 5 days, but that's where it gets really peckered up, and it takes literally 2 minutes to remove it, put it in a baggie, roll it up.
And not worry about it.
And not worry about it. All bets are off, right? Just put it away and you know it's going to be good.
Yeah, so you're not going to want to be brining your bait. If you're fishing, let's say you are fishing 5 days, you're on vacation or you're a guide, and like I said, you're not brining your bait for the week on Sunday for the whole week. So you're going to just do it day to day.
Yeah, every night, usually you're adding fresh baits, but you don't throw the old ones away. So if you're fishing 3 days in a row and you can take your brine tubs out of your boat, right, in the refrigerator and put them back. Just do that. No need for the freezer. If you're fishing 3 or 4 or 5 days in a row, just take them from the baggie, put them back in the brine solution, throw them back in the refrigerator.
You know, it's funny. I don't add a little brine to it, but I take all my old Springer bait just day in and day out, and just throw them in, I have a big 2-gallon bag. And so at the end of the day, I'll have, a handful of baits or tray bait. I always just throw it in this bag. And I'm saving it for my lingcod bait, and I might as well feed these great brine herring to bottom fish too, because they love them too. But even when I take them out bottom fishing, a couple months later, the baits, you look at them and they're still firm. They don't stink.
As long as they've been cold.
Yeah, well,
it's crazy how long they last.
I just keep adding them to the freezer. But you're just saying a little extra brine in the bag, roll them up, and you're just using them for
moist,
salmon.
Baby. I just put enough in to keep it moist. But that way, if the bag falls over, I'm not trashing your boat. You're not pissed off at me because I've done it.
True. Another thing too is what I'll do too is I'll use fresh bait on the first day. I'll freeze those baits until the 3rd day, and then the 2nd day I'll just use fresh. You can alternate it. So 1 day of good bait, 2 days of fresh bait, and 1 day of what's left of the bait. if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, so you're kind of like,
So you're cutting the whole day out.
You always want to have a little extra every day versus a little less, not enough.
Right.
And so, so by then you get a stockpile.
Yeah.
And then you're good to go.
Yeah.
That makes sense. It makes total sense.
But a lot of guys, Jason was the hardest to break. He felt you had to have brand new bait
I'm
every
that
day.
guy.
You don't need to. And that's why I said, screw it. Give me the old bait. We're fishing into his boat. I said, I'll use yesterday's bait. And then when he sees it catching just as many fish, but still, it's like, no, in his mind or your mind, it's got to be fresh bait. That's not true. As long as it's been kept cold, it's just as good. And if I mix them around and put them in your hand, you couldn't tell me the difference.
Well, it's like we were talking about at the start of this, like with the whole gas prices, pinching pennies, that kind of thing. Well, shoot, it's probably going to be a little advantageous for people not to be stuck in that way. I mean, like I am. I mean, I'm 3 or 4 trays every day, before I even think about it. But that can get expensive quick.
Yeah,
Something
it just breaks my heart to watch the guy at the boat. I mean, I don't really lose it. I see a guy just throwing trays. It's like, are you?
Well, at least save it for lean cod, for God's sakes. Come on.
Crab or something.
Crab,
There's no reason just to chuck them out. So, and guys, I said, did they get warm? No.
Well, Patrick Gaffney actually is probably hating you talking about this right now on the podcast because he's the guy who sells the bait.
Yeah.
So he's the one who's selling the trays of herring. He's like, shut up, Steve. Throw that wonderful bait in the water. But lots of brine. You guys got 3 colors: the natural, chartreuse, and the blue. When you talk, we always want to touch on this because I think it does you guys more of a favor than not dyeing people's boats or dyeing their dogs even. You guys, all your dyes break down in UV.
Correct. And they're all water treatment dyes, so they're safe, right? So we're paying extra money. Nothing is toxic. I think there's a deal on your thing on your site a week ago where the guy's dog ate somebody's sturgeon stuff. I got a couple phone calls say, hey, there's a guy out there on the addicted thing. The dog ate the sturgeon frenzy. Is he going to be okay? And
really?
So, and it's like 10:39. So I reached, I messaged him through your site, and then I got like 100 and some odd. I mean, it was stupid, but I mean, crazy stupid. But then I PM'd the guy and said, buddy, first of all, so I went through and said, your dog will be okay.
Well, okay, if that happens again, just text me or Marlon, and we'll nip that in the butt right now because I know how fast that can go.
The guy was positive. I went to the website. It says it's non-toxic, which all of our stabilizers are food grades. We spend 3 times as much money, right, buying food grade stabilizers. So if your dog, unless your dog has allergies to fish or whatever, then that we can't help. But
or if you're human that's allergic to shrimp, since you're using real bait, they're probably going to.
Well, what's funny too is like with dogs, they're actually better off to eat the cured salmon roe than they are the uncured salmon roe.
Sure,
it kills the pathogen in the salmon. But the problem is once the dog has eaten the scent, he will climb on top of your freezer to get it again. I mean, it's not safe.
It's that good.
It's not safe.
There's bite stimulants in there.
But when I tell them,
he gets that little taste of it. It's like all the fish. They get a little taste, a little whiff of that. They got to eat it.
It's crazy. But the good news is I just tell people keep it on them and keep them outside. If it's a dyed bait or gel or
you'll
oil,
know when it works.
They're going to crap red or whatever in your house. So outside, lots of water. But if they're acting funny, scoop them up, run them to a vet. I mean, they're just like our kids. But we've to knock on wood, we've never lost an animal, right? I mean, and vets call us. My number's on our phone number. When you call Procure, it says if this is a true emergency, and my number's on it, and I answer my phone till 11 o'clock every night. And usually some knucklehead in Alaska. It's curing roe, and the neighbor's dog jumped over the fence and ate 3 pounds of his roe. So once I calm them down, ask all the right questions.
It's terrible.
Well, the guy who's curing the roe was really pissed because he just lost a lot of money in eggs. So.
Well, he can take that up with the dog owner.
Yeah.
That's not your fault. Got to line up on those bite stimulants.
It's just, but like the state of Indiana states, if you're going to use roe, it's got to be cured with Procure first because they went and tested it. We truly kill the pathogen in the salmon eggs. But it's got to be on at a minimum of 20 minutes, and you've got to follow the formula. If you do that right, our products in there kill all the pathogens.
So if someone, in Indiana, like for the guys that don't know, they have a huge steelhead fishery. So if guys like catch a steelhead and they want to use like fresh roe, they are not allowed to use fresh roe. They have to be cured.
Be cured with Procure first.
Cured with Procure.
That's right.
That speaks volumes with this.
but I mean, it was their money, so they did all the tests, right? And they said you killed the bacteria, but the main thing, we killed the pathogen in the salmon eggs that causes the salmon poisoning. But if you just put the cure on it in 10 minutes, the dog eats it, well, then it's still active and alive.
Sure.
It takes a minimum of 20 minutes if you follow the directions. So I got to calm the person down. It's okay. Explain to me when you did it, how much. And the guy's usually yelling at me. I'm saying, sir, take a breath.
Relax.
Just talk to me. Right?
Fuzzy's going to be okay.
Well, first I ask him, how's your dog doing? He's going to be very thirsty. Lots of water. They crap outside for 3 days because that red gets in their intestines.
Oh, I'm sure it's not.
And it will stain carpets, right? Because there's no UV in your home. If they poop red or purple, it's going to be
red or purple.
Yeah. Or your boat will clean up. The carpet normally won't.
Yeah. All right, let's change the subject because we get it. Fuzzy's going to be okay.
Yeah.
What else is new with ProCure? What's going on?
Well, we got a lot going on. So we just purchased, as of last week, a 30,000 square foot facility on 4 acres. So we're going from about 8,000 square feet of usable space to over 30,000. So we can actually do the things we've been talking about. It's a lot of expansion. So I plan on moving mid-April from our place of 22 years, 10 minutes away, to a much larger facility. And then we'll order the equipment, and then between now and a year from now, the equipment will show up, and then we can start with the new items. Because once COVID started, we blew up with orders. I just couldn't justify making new products when we were taking 8 weeks to ship existing products.
Sure.
I just wasn't going to let American Greed take over. So we put all new things on hold and just focused on the stuff we were making. So in the last 2.5 years, other than a couple of SKUs for you guys, we've done nothing new for anyone, right? We've just said we can't. I mean, certain companies have come to us wanting to sell to them, big company, and we just had to say no, right? Because I'm not going to let American Greed, although it's tempting, right?
Right.
But some of the largest retailers want us to do certain things for them, and for 2 years, I've told them no.
Well, I mean, capacity is capacity, though.
Yeah, we don't want to overstep our capabilities.
You know, like
Right.
our bottle company of 18 and a half years, I won't mention their name, but they kicked us to the curb because they took a big contract from Perel and just, they gave us a blanket order every month. All of a sudden the orders quit coming in. Jason and I drove up there. I toured their facility. I tried to bribe him with $1,000, just ship our orders. The guys can't do it. And who am I to tell somebody how to run their business?
Right,
But
right.
18 and a half years, we were there, or they were our prime supplier of bottles, and he just shut us off. So, I mean, talking about a freak out, a 12-cent item was going to shut us down. So, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, you can make the best cure in the world, but if it doesn't got a bottle to go out in, I guess it's kind of the end of that.
So we were forced to deal with China. I mean, we bought every 2-ounce, 8-ounce bottle on Amazon, eBay, paying 5 times. We didn't care. I didn't care what color it was. I just needed bottles. But now we're doing years worth in advance. That
Containers of bottles.
Containers.
We'll never have that problem again.
Yeah. No, that will never be.
That's like us and buying hats right now. It's like hats are just like I hear Marlon talking about is like, 6 a.m. looking on the distributors' websites to try to find hats. You know, it's just crazy. Yeah, just that. I guess consumable material that you just cannot find. But
I got
think
20
what you
guys
did.
going to be out of a job just because I didn't have a 2-ounce bottle, and that was I'd sleep. I mean, I was just livid. So that we will never have that issue. We are fortunate enough we had the funds to buy a year's worth. What we thought was a year's worth lasted 5 months. So we added all the numbers and got a container. We're all excited.
Well, what's that really tell you though? What's that really tell you?
This is stupid, crazy.
This is stupid good, and obviously your products like really, really work. Yeah. Which I can attribute that they do really work. So
And we didn't, and we aren't. We didn't cut our advertising with anyone. I mean, especially if guys are doing good. Mm-hmm. It was tempting to say, well, we don't need to. We got more business. We know what to do. But we kept on with everybody that was doing their job, stayed with them, right? Thanked them. And even though a lot of them were locked down, they couldn't fish, like in Washington or Maine, or actually Michigan, where they were not allowed to go out and fish.
Well, they could fish, just not from a boat, unless you were the governor's husband.
Yeah.
We're not going to talk about that.
But still, it wasn't their fault. We paid everybody, right? Thanked them. And you know what? We're being rewarded for that.
Well, all I can say is, you guys have been a partner with us for a long time, and we greatly appreciate that because I think, we were still doing, we started, you guys came into our first, like we were talking about this before the podcast, 2016 is when you figured it out.
In your garage.
In my garage.
With the wife, the kids. I think soccer
in the side of the garage.
going on.
Yeah, I had to pull the boat out of the garage. We did it back.
Gas cans.
God, those were awful times. Awful times.
And I got to admit, right? I mean, I just call it like I see it. I told Jason the way home, I said, these guys won't be around in a year. I'm serious. I'm eating crow, but at least I'm man enough to admit I was way wrong, right? Because you guys are blowing it up. But I made the comment to Jason, and I don't need to say this, but I just say good or bad. I said, man,
but we were throwing lots of darts at the dartboard back then.
But I'm proud to be your sponsor. Right?
Well, we're proud. We're thankful. Right? We are so thankful to have you guys, and it's been an awesome relationship. We've got obviously our addicted products with you guys now, and I think we're gonna hopefully continue this for years to come. So if you guys have any questions, reach out to Jason and Steve over at ProCure. They're our experts. We got a live feed to film. And I got one more reminder for you guys. I know I talked about it earlier. We will be there this Saturday, March 12th at the Central Oregon Sportsman Show in Redmond, Oregon from 3 to 5. It's our bash. We will be talking about ProCure products. Are you guys going to be down there?
We will not.
We will not. Okay.
So
well,
we don't
will
sell
represent.
directly. We only support our dealers. And at that show, I don't believe we have a dealer there.
Oh, gotcha.
So we won't go sell out from under our dealers.
Sure.
We'll go show up like at the Portland or Puyallup or Sacramento and support our dealers.
Gotcha. Well, it makes perfect sense.
That's a fun show, though.
Oh, good. I'm glad to hear it. It's going to be our first time, so it should be real exciting. But we'll see you guys there this Saturday from 3 to 5 p.m. So thanks for tuning in, guys.